dual clutch is not as bad. And ha! There goes an STI. Oh, I want you. Oh, I want you. And a Forester right over there. Hey guys, welcome back to JR14. Just wanted to say thank you for my subscribers who've stuck with me for this long, to stay with me, continue watching my videos, continue, being, great fans, and I appreciate all of you guys. So I figured I'd come out with another video now. This segment today is going to be talking about tuning, and a lot of people today, what they like to do is they like to what is called tune their vehicles. And a lot of these cars now, for instance, Volkswagen GTIs, Lancer Evolutions, WRXs, and STIs, they all come turbocharged these days. They all either have 2-liter turbos or 1 point something turbo. Even the Ford models, EcoBoost, the Fiesta ST, the Focus, and of course, oh my God, I'm waiting for it, the Focus RS, which I can't wait. It's gonna have drift mode. It's gonna be amazing. But getting back to the topic of tuning, a lot of people, what tuning actually is that when these cars come turbocharged with a certain amount of power, the factory or the manufacturer wants to have certain parameters limited because of the fact of where the car is. They sell these cars nationwide, sometimes worldwide. So they have to set different parameters to make sure the car works in different areas, such as elevation changes, climate. Some places are really hot all the time. Some places are really cold all the time. Sometimes, like for instance, we're in New York, we get all the different seasons all the time. But they have to do a certain type of tune to make sure these vehicles are reliable, safe, and dependable. But us car enthusiasts, we can't just accept that. We can't just accept the factory tunes and say, okay, I'm good. No. Cars react to different mods: exhaust, intakes, fuel pumps, fuel rails, fuel injection, intercoolers. Any type of thing will actually create more of a kick to your car. It actually makes the car run more efficiently, and in a result, it gives it more power. But again, if you're on that stock factory tune, you're not going to be able to really get the potential of what those performance parts are doing for your vehicle, which is why they have what is called tuning. And tuning actually changes those parameters to a higher standard or a higher bar, so that these performance parts that you put on your vehicle work better. Sometimes even with most tunes, which is sometimes just an ECU reflash, or sometimes called a stage 1, is just really flashing of the ECU of the stock parameters, because again, you already have an intercooler, you already have a turbocharger in your car. So with this stuff, with the stage 1, it's just making these parameters a little bit higher so that you get a little bit more potential out of the stock parts on your vehicle. So I figured I'll explain this to you guys today, and I wanted to say thank you for Thomas for letting me use his 2015 Evo, Lancer Evolution MR. And what we're going to be doing today, he actually got his Cobb Accessport a couple of days ago, and I thought, why not show you and why not experience this with you guys? Tuning a vehicle, the do's and don'ts, make sure that we're doing it right. I'll take you through the steps of making sure that you're doing the stage, the tune correctly. And today we're going to probably be installing the stage 1 93. He does put 93 in his car. We do get 93 in New York. So we will be doing the 93 tune on a stage 1. So this is basically just a reflash. There's no performance parts on the car at all. So you know what? Let's get to it, and I'm going to show you what actually comes in the box. So let's go. All right. So we have the actual Cobb Accessport here. Not expensive. Well, it is expensive, but actually, he actually got a good deal from Cobb. Right now, they're selling the Cobb Accessport for the 2015 Lancer Evolutions for $500, which is a huge deal considering the fact that they're normally $650. Cobb's also well known for tuning for WRXs and GTRs and other vehicles as well. So let's get to it. So we have the box here. Let's check and see what's inside. So here we have an accessory box and a pouch. Inside the pouch, we do have. So here we have the actual Cobb Accessport itself, and buttons: up, down button, enter button, and back button here. You do have the cables which we'll go through the steps of how to install in a second. So this is to plug up to your computer at home. And they also, with this, give you a different faceplate. If I can get this out. So they give you also a different faceplate if you want to be blue, if you want to. And they also give you a backing plate as well, so you can latch the access port onto this and mount it on your dashboard. In the accessory box, you do have the, I believe this is the pin connector that goes underneath the dashboard. So even when they do an inspection on your car, or they need to read a code or anything like that, they usually go into this panel on the bottom of the car on the driver's side. And this is where this is going to plug into, and this is where you're going to be doing the tune. This is how you're going to upload it to the car. You're going to plug this into this, into that port. You're also going to plug this other end into the access port itself. So, you know what? Let's start having some fun. Let's, you know, I'm done talking right now. Let's just go ahead and put this thing together, and let's get this thing going, and let's see the difference. Cobb actually recommends that you plug a battery trickle charger to the car while you're doing it, because the first time you install the Cobb Accessport, it's installing itself onto the ECU, and it probably will take anywhere from 20 minutes to a half an hour to do it. So they recommend that you plug a battery charger up to it, just to be on the safe side, because you do not want this thing cutting out. You do not want this thing cutting out. So we do have a, while it's actually programming the maps over and reflashing the car, you do not want the battery to die out, because then you actually lock yourself out of your own car as far as the computer is concerned. So we do have a trickle charger from Duralash. You can pick these up from Pep Boys AutoZone for like around 20 bucks. And the battery is actually connected to, the batteries in the trunk of the car. So we're gonna go ahead and do that, and then we're gonna go install this Cobb Accessport. So. The car's gonna do a bunch of crazy things. The fan's gonna come on, the car's overheating, stop emergency. All these service requirements are gonna come up on the dashboard. It's perfectly normal. But you should see my friend's face right now. He's all worried. Transmission service required. It's doing a bunch of craziness right now. I'm getting a battery, check engine light, close the hood. Well, the hood's actually open on the car, but engine's overheating, stop safely. The traction control system needs service required. It's doing a bunch of different things. All-wheel drive system service is needed. So it's going to give you all these different codes, but it's flashing the car. This is perfectly normal. This is perfectly fine. Nothing's wrong with the car. The car doesn't even have 2,000 miles on it yet, so there's nothing wrong with the car. So what it just did was it pulled everything on the stock map. So now what it's doing, it's actually flashing the car at this point. The engine fan's going off right now. You can hear it spinning. So if you want the gauge 1, that's a 1 large, 2 gauges, 3 gauges, 4 gauges, 2 small gauges. So for instance, if we hit 4 gauges, for instance, give it a second. It's not logging. So now it's reading the car. Now it's reading all the different parameters. The acceleration position. So it's saying right now, 15%.
You press OK, it starts logging the data.
Yeah, so for instance, logging is basically, if you want to check your car within a certain parameters, you can log the car and it will do live logging for you. So for instance, while you're driving, you can log the car and check it on your computer at home later. Let's see here. Now, Cobb will provide you with a set of different mats for your Cobb Accessport. But again, if you're really more in depth with tuning, and you want to perfect the tune on your car, that's when you go for a pro tune. And that's, of course, when you have modifications. It costs like anywhere from $300 to $500 for a dyno and all this other stuff to make sure that the parameters of the car are set specifically for your car from a specific tuning shop. But again, these are just maps that, again, will work all around the year. Will work in different states, different elevations, and will keep the car safe. And yeah, so that's it with installing it. And it's time to go have some fun. Let's go drive this thing. This car's a problem. That's 80, Jesus Christ.
22 pounds of boost is 20 pounds.
That's just a reflash. I could tell right away that woke the car right up. It really did. It didn't feel that aggressive at all. It felt aggressive, but not wow. So guys, that concludes it. You know, that concludes the Cobb Accessport install for the 2015 Evo MR. And I'm glad that you guys was able to experience this journey with me to do it for the first time, the Cobb Accessport on an Evo. I've done it on STIs previously, but it's pretty much relatively the same thing. I thought it would be a little different, but it's not. Pretty much the same thing, but it turned out great. And that's it. All right. So Thomas, I hope he enjoys his car with the Cobb Accessport, and more reviews to come, more videos to come. And of course, thank you guys for subscribing. And if you know someone new, also subscribe as well. JR14 is the name. YouTube channel, JBBJR14 on Instagram, and JR14 on Tumblr. Guys, peace. See you later.